What's going on, world?
Hey, everybody.
It's your guy, TJ, Mr.
New Cool.
Mr. New Cool. There you go. See, I'm trying new things with it, you know?
I appreciate it.
Go ahead.
And this is your permanently exhausted pigeon, Dani.
And this is yet another episode of Lovers Quarrel.
Yes, it is.
You know, this is a special episode.
It is.
And we'll get into it later of why it's so special.
Top secret.
But it's a lot of new things happening.
Get excited.
Hopefully they heard you because you said it really low.
Get excited. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be, add to the build, the momentum.
Oh, okay.
But how are you?
I'm cool. How are you doing?
It's been a rough couple of weeks, or rough 2 weeks. But I'm gonna talk about that in my elevator talk, because I think it's typical Dani stuff, but then it's also I think it might be nice for people to hear about.
So let's get in the elevator then.
All right. Going down. So this week has been really, really busy, because you and I have been preparing for this trip that we're going on. We've had just work, and then I've also had school, and I know, and I sometimes I feel like I'm a broken record when I talk about how tired I am, or I talk about how stressed I am, but being really honest with myself, I felt I haven't felt this anxious. My anxiety levels have been so high this week, because I also had to have grades in. I'm trying to complete these big assignments for my classes for grad school, and then trying to get my hair done one day, get my nails done another day, and I'm really struggling. And it sucks, because it's just I don't want to be on some woe is me bullshit, because I'm not the first person to have all this on their plate. I won't be the last, but I'd be lying if I didn't say that I wanted to so bad shove my head in the sand and just ignore everything, or just go to sleep. And I feel I've been trying not to, but it's I feel if I slow down too much, I'll knock out and fall asleep. That's how hard I've been going these last couple of days. And I hate that feeling, that anxiety, literally feeling I might be I might have a panic attack, because it just feels I'm doing too much, or it feels there's not enough hours in the day, and then something goes wrong. Even when I try to build in time to to do stuff at school, I try to use my planning period, I try to be smart about it, and it's still something happens. One of the kids there's a fight, or there's what else is there? There's a meeting, there's something that happens that causes me to lose time, lose precious minutes, and I'm sick of it. I know I'm capable, and I know I can do it, but shit's hard. I feel so overwhelmed some days, babe. And I don't know if I always cope with it the best way. So I'm not trying to bring it down so low, but I just been.
Oh, we're all the way down.
I know. It's just I'm
past the basement.
I know.
It's basement 6.
It is, and I'm sorry, y'all. It's just, but I feel for the people out there who listen, I know I'm not alone in this, and I think that it feels good for me able to vent it, and I almost kind of have been waiting for the episode to kind of talk about it with you, babe, and with our lovers, because I think it's important that we have these conversations, because I think everybody's been in this boat before, and it kind of comes and goes. And to add on to that, but not as depressing sounding, because I'm okay. I'm just stressed. Another thing is I really hate when like people. So like, I'm also annoyed because I went and got my hair done the other day for this trip, right? And I specifically got a style for that shouldn't have taken more than 4 hours. But because this woman had, something going on with her son, like he got into like an altercation after school, and it was like they were trying to play like, Harriet the Spy with like who's texting who, and let me see screenshots and thread. She was like all over the place. So she started my hair late. Then she's busy talking to another mother and this mother and that mother. And don't get me wrong, I am a mother, so I understand the importance of like you want to get to the bottom of stuff. But like it was some true like kind of like unprofessionalism. Like, so I was there for way too long, and it's frustrating because it's like you want to support businesses, you want to support small business owners, but like when you do shit like that, like it just gets harder and harder to like want to like, why would I give you my money? And then lastly, and then I will pass my elevator over to TJ, is I don't know if any of you guys have seen, or did you see the Dunkin' Donuts video with the homeless man?
Yes.
That shit is so fucking whack. If you didn't see what happened, homeless man was had his head down on a table in a Dunkin' Donuts. It was pretty empty, the restaurant, and some of the employees decided that in order to get him to leave the restaurant, they took, I guess, one of the larger pitchers or whatever that they use, and they dumped cold water on him. And like, first off, the man, like, he didn't yell, he wasn't acting crazy, he was just sitting there. Even after you've publicly humiliated him, you have, disrespected him to such a degree, he still didn't even like bug out. He just kind of like he quickly grabbed his phone to make sure it wasn't wet.
People aren't human anymore.
Like this, it's a humanity thing. It is a humanity thing.
The issue, I say it a lot, social media is the fucking devil. They could have did that and not recorded. Why would you record that?
Because they thought it was funny, and it's just like
because they wanted to be famous, and that's my biggest thing. People do stuff just to get attention, and that's where we're at right now. I would never, if I was 13, 14, I may have done something like that. Me and my friends. I'm saying that I may have been there. I'm not saying that I would have been the one doing it.
But you might have laughed.
But I may have laughed. and may have been like, oh, it's so funny. But at the end of the day, once you work, like, there are people too, period.
And what I was reading about it, it was like the man kind of, he's had mental health issues, and the reason he was trying to charge his phone so he can call his mom, because his mom has tried to get him to come home or to come stay somewhere else, but he doesn't really want to feel like he's a burden to his family, so he prefers to live out on the street. And he excuse me, and so like that was the thing too. It's just like we're losing our humanity. Like, seeing a person who's homeless, like, that's not violent or vicious or anything like that, like, they're obviously, homeless because something happened. Nobody said,
but not always.
But not, I mean,
like working at the I volunteered at like the soup kitchen, and you get to see that like some people were homeless by choice. Some people just didn't have the means to afford meals, so they were there to eat. Like,
absolutely,
it's different levels of it.
People are there's so many of us that are people like when they talk about. I was reading another story about this incident, and people were saying like the people who got fired, like, you don't know how long it is before then it's them that's on the street, because so many people would not be able to sustain their lifestyle past 3 pay periods because
no one saves.
Yeah, because no one saves and people don't earn enough money. And
that too, yeah.
And it's like, now you don't have a job, so now what's going to happen when 3 pay periods from now your rent's still due? And now you don't have anything to contribute to the household. But it just is just whack. Like, the humanity of people, like, wasn't there. You're disrespecting somebody who's already down on their luck. And, like, I know you were talking about yourself when you were younger, whatever. I could, like, imagine. And, I mean, this is what makes me is, like, 13, 12-year-old Dani, like, I probably would have been in tears because I would have been so angry. But, like, I would have felt like I couldn't say anything.
I'm just saying that when you're younger, you make immature decisions, and immature things are funny.
Touche. I deal with it all day.
So, we would throw water on each other, and that would be funny until it's you, and then it's like, what the fuck? But now this is just at a bigger stage. I mean, like I said, social media is a devil. I watched a video the other day of a woman. Somebody was recording a woman who looked like she was bugging out on drugs. Mm-hmm. And she's like rolling around. She had a needle in her hand, but she's just rolling around. And it's just like, nobody calls. Like, you see them going through, it looks like an exorcism. Like and you don't think to call, you think to record. And that's where we're at. I watched another video. A car blew up. A woman's hand was on the floor. And you just hear people screaming like, the car blew up, but they're recording. We're in a world where people are recording just to record. To be the first. To be able to say, I seen some shit, let me post it. Like, nothing is secretive anymore.
Or sacred, yeah.
Yeah, there is no code for the social media world. Mm-hmm. And that's where we're fucked up at.
It's a desensitization. Like, that's why, like, I don't get how, like, my kids can watch fights and murders and things like that online and, like, find and just crack up sometimes. Even, like, last year, I don't know if you remember, the person who got hit by the train, the light rail in downtown.
Mm-hmm. And people were
got
recording
severed.
it.
Like, the body got severed in half. And there was, like, videos floating around the internet of, like, on Howard Street. And I'm like, my nigga, like, if I saw that, like, I would be horrified. Like, that stuff is, like, seared into your brain.
There was a girl. So, when I lived in New York, there was a girl who, she died. God bless her soul. Like, something happened where she fell and the bus ran over her. Mm-hmm. And people came to school crying and stuff like that. And look at it now, I'm like, if that would have happened now, people would have recorded it. Mm-hmm. They would have recorded it instead of trying to making sure she was okay. And that's just where we're at. Because we're down, I'm staying down. Originally, I was, Kanye said, something. Mm. And I was, fuck Kanye. Super fuck Kanye.
Still fuck.
But now I'm kind of, I feel sad for Kanye.
I don't.
Well, you don't have to. But I'm going to explain why.
Go ahead.
Kanye is dealing with mental health issues. He talked about not taking his medicine. And he sounds like someone who's like manic. He sounds like somebody who's going through something. Mm-hmm. And, it didn't bother, like, I've said before, like, I said before that it was okay when he was making the outbursts because of whatever. But those outbursts were tamed compared to now. And now looking at it, he may have always had mental health issues, but he was just such a genius that we didn't notice. Someone needs to take his phone. Someone needs to stop interviewing him. Someone needs to stop, like, putting this out here, because I think they're trying to ruin him. Mm-hmm. Because that sells, right? Mm-hmm. It sells to say Kanye is crazy. He loves Trump and all this other stuff.
He's doing this all around an album release. Like, it's coming in a couple of weeks. So
it is the album release, but it's also it's more to that.
It is.
It's more to that we're not talking about. Nobody wants to talk about what it is. Mm-hmm. Kanye is not in his right mind. Sure. Anybody who wants to act like he is, or saying there's a publicity stunt, it's bigger than that. His family needs to, his friends, the media needs to stop recording. No, we don't want to interview with you. Mm-hmm. Get better. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I think about when Britney Spears went crazy, they took the picture, but people stopped interviewing her. People stopped, allowing the Britney Spears stuff to go out there. Like, paparazzi, if they get a picture, they get a picture. But people weren't doing anything. MTV did a whole award show to try to bring her back. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They tried to, they gave her like video of the year, album of the year, all this other stuff, and she wasn't deserving of it, you know. But only in our culture do we try to tear down us. So I think that for me, it's a down because Kanye's sick.
Among other things, yeah.
Well, you don't care, but if Kanye was your child, would you feel the same way?
I would feel like he is in dire need of assistance, like professional assistance.
Yeah, 100%. But you're like washing your hands of him, and you're not taking that into consideration that he's sick.
I do think that some of it feels like publicity. Like it's almost like, again, it's like that Emperor's New Clothes thing. Because like him wearing the MAGA hat with like
with Colin Kaepernick.
Colin Kaepernick, yeah, and like that's trolling. Like he's just a troll.
Do you think he's trolling, or do you think do you think in his mind, as he's having his manic depressive state, he said he's bipolar, all this, while he's going through that, you don't think that in his mind he's thinking this is perfect? I don't think Kanye is there doing it saying I'm good. One day he's saying like I'm back, I'm out of the sunken place, and the next day he's talking a mile a minute, like he's sick, and you're washing your hands from of him because it's easy for you to do that. But for me, it's like I'd rather not wipe my hands off of him, but I would rather just wish him well. So
fair enough. Well, that was a heavy elevator talk, kind of all around. We had to come out the basement, okay, like you said. But we're going to do that with our, as always, my quality relationship.
So we're not closing the doors.
Shoot. I always forget to close the doors. Prepare for the closing doors. Because I think we can put this elevator talk to bed. What do you think?
Sure.
All right. And now it is time for my quality, as always, relationship tip of the week, and TJ's version of C-Spot Run tip of the week for relationships. Mr. Byerson, would you like to go first?
No, we can hear your bougie claim first.
So it's not bougie, but this is like a relationship tip I actually learned. I kind of picked up on it at school this last week or so. You know, we've had a couple of scuffles with kids, and you know, like you said, social media is the devil. So even though my kids aren't necessarily quick to whip out their phones, they definitely are quick to like gather around a potential fight, right? And you know, here I come barreling down the hallway or out my room, and somebody, I'm like, get in the classroom, or, you know, and so then I found myself when I was like recapping with the kids, like, listen, if you're not going to be in those situations, like, if you have no way to be helpful, then just stay out the way. And I think that, like, in a roundabout way, sometimes if you can't be helpful to your partner, then staying out of the way is like the next best or next logical option for them. Because if TJ needs help with something, or TJ always struggles with something, and it's not my forte, it's not my bag, like I can't get into it the way he would like me to, or the way that he needs me to. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like move to the side and be like, okay, this is his thing, but I'm not gonna like slow him down from doing it, kind of thing. Like,
do tell, I'm confused.
So basically, it's just like sometimes when you're in a relationship, like, you know, you're supposed to be helpful to your partner, of course. And there's times where like you lean on your partner to help you with something. But then there's other times where like your partner is working on something or is doing something that you don't either understand or you not necessarily agree with. And you make the decision to like, if you can't be helpful to that person, if you can't be a resource, a guide, whatever it is, then, you know, the next best thing you can do is just let the person rock, move to the side and let them do their thing. That's all.
Okay.
Well, that was my tip. And what is your short and sweet account?
It's real simple.
I'm waiting with bated breath.
It's a Friday or Saturday. Instead of going out, you could binge a TV series or a movie series.
So did you just like suggest Netflix and chill as a relationship tip?
I didn't. No. Netflix and chill means like you're Netflixing to fuck. I'm saying
You're Netflixing to watch.
as a married man and with like life responsibilities, we don't get to watch our series.
Facts.
Sons of Anarchy, The Mayans just came out. Haven't watched it.
Not that.
Queen Sugar, haven't watched it. It's a whole bunch of just TV shows that I haven't watched. So if one week we said, you know what, we're going to just watch this TV series.
But in all fairness, after the week I've had and bringing the mood down, I wish me and you could have one of those weeks. So that is a good idea.
Told you I'll be winning every week.
No, you didn't win.
I did win. You just conceded.
No. I can see. That's the thing. I know how to still compete, but still appreciate the talent of
You're okay with second place, and that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Take your second place. Give me my first place because you're agreeing with me. Last week you gave me a double. I mean, listen. I got y'all.
It's because I'm a humble person.
Relationship tips. I got y'all.
I'm a humble person.
You know what I mean?
Like you.
Listen, you don't gotta go all crazy and all this wild stuff. I got you. Mm-hmm. So again, this week I win again. Thank you.
Did not.
The only week you won is the week that I didn't participate.
You're full of shit.
Anyway.
Continue.
We're gonna take a break from. We're gonna take a break. Hear a message from our sponsor, and then we'll come back.
Let's do it.
Hey friend, it's time for you to ditch those workout gloves and get the grip and wrist support you deserve. What do you suggest? You need to get the Gainz Load and Lock grips by Gainz Sports Gear. They are more durable than gloves, have a non-slip grip pad that provides grip support and added wrist support unlike your traditional workout gloves, and will protect your hands from calluses. Do they come in different colors? Not only do they come in different colors, but they are available for men and women. Do yourself a favor, go to GainSportsGear.com. And remember, a better grip equals a better lift. Embrace the process.
And you too can embrace the process using our code LOVERS10 at Gainz, Gainz, sportsgear.com and get 10% off your first order. And now, back to the show.
And we're back.
We are back. So this week we're going to do things a little bit differently. Mm-hmm. We're not going to do our listener letter.
From a lover.
Our lover letter.
Lover letter.
Because it's a special episode. We have a special announcement. So we're going to go straight to the quarrel. And then we'll make our announcement. And then, yeah.
Put a nice little bow on it.
Go ahead, Danny.
So the quarrel for this week, for our special episode, has to do with work-life balance. And I think y'all can see, like, based on this episode and how I've been talking and what I've been talking about, where my head has been for the last week. And I'm kind of curious to see what TJ's take on it is, because work-life balance to me feels like something that is very, very difficult to achieve, especially depending on the line of work that you're in. But I get the feeling that, like, sometimes, and I mean, it could be like sour grapes, but I feel like I look at other people's like social media, Instagram, things like that, and they're these very successful professionals, but then it's just like they're living these like amazing lives on the weekends and even weeknights, and I'm like, how are they finding work-life balance? And then I'm struggling to keep it together. So I don't know. I'm curious to know what you think about work-life balance and if it even exists.
I think it does. I feel like anything does. Like anything that you want to do, you can do. We make time for things that we want to do. Mm-hmm. I think for you dive into things and you want to be the best, which isn't a negative thing. But you're too busy trying to be the best that you're not even smelling the roses. You're not doing everything else because you're just trying to focus on, I got to do it this way. And, I feel like with teaching, you can teach a kid things, but it doesn't prepare them for life. They need it. They need to know that they have a teacher who cares. And I think that's more important. Like, you can be the best instructor there is in the world, but how do you help me with what's going on in my life? How can you know what I mean? Like, that doesn't matter. I've had great instructors, but I had teachers who were able to, change my life. Miriam, my favorite teacher.
Yeah.
She believed in me when everybody else was like, TJ's a bad kid. Phil, same thing, Those were kind of my, oh shit, I have a chance. That was more important to me than remembering a math problem or whatever. Like, if it's going to come, it's going to come. At least that's just my thinking. But as far as the work-life balance goes, I feel like you have to have some type of balance. When I was in school, I would come home from work, do schoolwork, and then I'd be like, some days I'd be like, fuck this. The work is due on Sunday. It's a Tuesday. I'm gonna play video games today. I had to give myself that time. Or, you know what? I'm going to sleep early tonight because I'm tired, and I'm gonna make it work. So I think that's where the balance comes. You make the balance, but so.
Yeah, I think work-life balance does exist. I think it's just hard to implement. Like, I will tell myself, like, and I know it's like an I told you so thing. Like, I pay for a massage membership that I can barely ever get to because I'm always doing something on the weekend. But I was trying to do that in an effort to, like, have self-care. I tell myself, like, I'm going to go to bed early, but then I got other things I have to do, and then there's, like, drama and stuff like that. And it's like, I'm doing it. I'm like, people can commit to trying, but then it's just like being able to execute feels like what's never happening, because we are trained as a society, as an American society, that, like, our blood, sweat, and tears goes primarily to, well, I guess maybe talk to our family or our career, because it's like I don't function. I don't get to do what it is I want to do if I don't meet these expectations at work. You know what I mean?
I get that, but so you get a whole summer off. You can plan a good chunk of your school year during the summer. You make a choice not to. Like, to me, that would be the balance. You know what? I have the summer off. I know that this is going to be this part of this is going to be the curriculum. So once a day, I'll try to knock out as much as I can, and then I'll knock it out.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're right. But then also too, like, it's, again, I think it comes back to that balance too, because it's just like, I've been going hard in the paint for 10 months. Now it's June, and it's like, you do need a minute to, like, recharge.
But that's not a balance. I'm going to kill myself for 10 months, and then for these next 2 months, I'm not going to do shit. I'm just going to be as average as I possibly can because I killed myself for 10 months. Well, whereas if I was coasting for 10 months, I was doing whatever, like, I'm going to make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, but I'm not going to overkill myself to the point that I'm like, I'm exhausted. Like, at the end of the day, you have to worry about yourself. Because at the end of the day, you're going hard. What happens if you break down? And now you can't do the job. And now you're not good for your kids. Because you want to be the best, quote unquote. And you're going so hard in September. And you have all the way until July. But you're trying to prove something to whomever you're trying to prove it to. Like, you don't get well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I do get an award for best teachers. I don't know about those things, but
not quite. Like,
but I've never cared about awards. I've never cared about. It's cool if you get it, but I'm just a big believer that if you know that you're giving 100%, and you know
it doesn't work out.
It doesn't work out. You know you gave 100%. The only time you should ever feel bad about it is if you didn't give 100%. Like you can't feel bad that you gave 70% and you're upset that you failed. But if you gave 100%, you gave 100%.
I get it. I just feel like sometimes it's really hard for people, and not just in my line of work, or it's just really hard for people to just leave work at work and then keep, and then focus at home when they're at home. Like, I know that that's something I struggle with because my work spills over into the home. But I think it's just,
I don't think it's hard. I think people make decisions and choices based off of their wants and needs, and if they wanted to make the time, they would make the time, period. And that's just my personal thing.
I get it. I think it's not as cut and dry as that, because I just feel like there are, like, for us, for example, like, there are so many moments where, like, I've been parked at the dining room table and I'm like, damn, I really wish I could just go upstairs with, like, right now and lay down, like, or like, you said, like, not that we have to do anything, but just take a nap or just hang with each other. But then I feel like I'm also like, if I don't capitalize on this free moment, then I am wasting time,
Yeah, but I also think the difference is you're like one of the smartest people I know, right? So you're used to just being mediocre. Your mediocre is a lot of people's trying hard. Mm-hmm. So now when there is pressure, when it is something like you actually have to apply yourself, you get into like a panic mode. You get into frantic mode, and now you're trying to like prove like, oh shit, I am smart. Like, you kind of got to get your swagger back. You got to get your confidence back. Like, I know what I'm doing. I'm only going to do it from this time to this time, and then that's it. Because at the end of the day, you're no good to nobody. Me, your daughter, your sister, your mother, if you're burnt out.
I understand.
So, go as hard as you want to go, but you have to find balance.
You're right. I do need to find balance, but I guess I also feel like I'm trying to go harder because I know I have fallen off before, or I'll get like freaked out, and then I'm like, okay. In my mind, I'm like, TJ's always talking about you gotta like push through, whatever. And so I'm just like, okay, if I do that, then I'm making sure that like I'm showing my value, I'm showing my worth.
But you don't have to show your worth. You know how to get good grades. You've never had a problem getting grades. I've always had a problem getting grades. So pushing through is all I know how to do. All I know how to do is fight because that's what I had to do. Up until me getting my master's, maintaining a 3.0 or better average, that wasn't a student that I was. So that's the difference. The difference is I'm used to having to fight. And then once I me personally, I like online class because, okay, I can see my syllabus. I can see what's due. I can knock out the shit that I need to knock out now. My brother right now is going for his master's. You know what Anthony does? He looked at the syllabus for the whole year. He knocks out every discussion question week by week. As much work as he can get done, he knocks it out now. So that way he doesn't have to do it later. Some classes are different setup, but that's what I'm saying. So you can mark your time. Okay, I get home at 5. From 5 to 8, I'm gonna do this. From 8 to 10, I'll spend time with TJ and Tatum, and then from 10:30 to 11, I'm trying to go to sleep. That's not gonna be every night, but I'm saying you have to be able to balance your life. Just and again, it's nothing negative. It's something new for you, and I get that, but you don't have to prove nothing to me.
Yeah,
I know you're smart. Like,
I know, but I think, like, for me, it feels like sometimes I have to, like, sometimes it feels like, you know, the impression is like Dani's coasted to where she is because she's just naturally smart, and now she's buckling under the pressure. So,
well, I'm not saying that you're buckling. The pressure comes is that no one had to say, Dani, do your work.
No,
it just came to you. No one had to say, Dani, study. You knew how to study. So when shit is easy for you, you just do it because it's easy. But when it's a challenge, that's when the pressure comes. That's when it's like, oh shit, what is this? Because it's not something that you're used to doing. So yeah, you can do schoolwork because schoolwork it's not hard. It's tedious. And it's damn, what's the word? It's opinionated. Because it's like, you may do it this way, but the professor wants you to do it that way, and now you're losing points because the professor wants it done this way.
It's like subjective.
Subjective. That's what I meant to say. Thank you. See, that's why I got a smart one. Ultimately, all I'm saying is that, you know, we as people know when we're bullshitting, and we know when we're really putting in work. And if you're really putting in work, no one's ever going to question if you're putting in work.
Are they?
If you're putting in work, I'm not gonna. I've never questioned when you put in work.
Okay.
I've only always questioned you when you said that you're doing work or you're tired and you're on IG. You're tired, but you're surfing the internet. You have work, but you're surfing. Like that's when it's like, but you're tired.
Okay.
So. But yes, I do think that there can be a work-life balance. Are there times that you will have to sacrifice like we're doing now? 100%. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not favorable. It's not the best thing. It's not whatever. It's tough.
Very.
But, you know, you get through it. So that's the major thing. But it just shouldn't be something that is a constant, I believe. But how do you feel about it?
I think work-life balance can exist too. But I think that depending on the line of work you're in, that balance becomes more like a sliding scale. And I don't think that it's always taken into advisement or consideration by some people that, like, hey, what I do is like super demanding, or what I do is like physically taxing, so like I may not be as present as I should be, and then it like goes from there, you know? Like, I just think it also needs to be some kind of like understanding there.
From who?
I'm really kind of from the partner, or from on both sides. Actually, from the person who's trying to find the balance, and the people in their life. I think it just needs to be like understanding. Like, sometimes I'm gonna have it, and sometimes I'm not. Like,
I think that's fair to say, but you also have to say that.
Okay.
It has to be verbalized. You can't expect someone to know that it's taxing or whatever if you're not saying anything. So it's a two-way street. That's why I said it's not ideal, but at times it is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But in a relationship, in a friendship, in a partnership, there has to be a communication. When my mother was studying for her Series 7, she moved out the house. No distractions. When she was going to school late at night, my father had to cook those nights. That was the understanding. Now, that's not how it always was. But it was like that a lot of the time growing up. So that's the biggest thing. I just think that the communication has to be there as well for there to be the opportunity to know. Otherwise, it's a guessing game.
True. I mean, I think that's what it always boils down to. That's what we always talk about, right? Communication being key. So
yeah, your communication sucks.
My communication sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm busy.
You're tired.
I am. I am, and I hate being tired. You know, like, baby, like let me try to perk up while I say this. I really, really hate how tired I am. It really makes me sad. It makes me angry. It makes me like frustrated because I don't have the energy for anything. And I feel like I used to be so much more I used to be so much more fun, and I don't feel fun anymore. But I love my family. I love you. I love Tatum. I love my job. I love my kids at school. And so I don't want to have to, I want to give the best of myself to everybody that I encounter. But it sucks the life out of me. And I feel like I'm dropping the ball with somebody every day. Either I'm not doing enough for you as your wife, or I'm only seeing Tatum for the 20 minutes in the morning when I'm getting her together and I'm taking her to school. Or I can't remember shit. Like I can't tell, like I have a planner and a calendar and I write stuff down because, like, not only because it's smart and it's the adult thing to do, but it's just like I struggle my memory is shot sometimes, and it's just like, and being forgetful can sometimes be translated into like, oh, she don't really care. That's how I feel anyway. Yeah,
thank you for clarifying that.
Okay, I'm going to say that. That's how I feel. Like, these people in my life that I love so much will think that I don't care about them or care about what they have planned because I can't. I don't have enough break. Like, I literally don't have enough storage in my head for everything that's coming down the pipe.
But that's why you can't live in the future, A, and B, that's why you can't put that much pressure on yourself. You can only live one day at a time.
You're right. You can
only live one day at a time. And that's why when I talk to you, when we have our conversations, like when you're down, you got your assignment back, it wasn't the score you wanted, and you were upset. And I'm like, why? Like, not negating how you feel, but you don't even know why you got your score yet. Be upset once you know why you got your score.
Yeah.
Like, be upset when it makes sense. Like, I had a performance review at my job. The highest, you can't get 4s. I had a 3.8. But my merit increase did not match what I thought I would have got.
Yeah.
The review was glowing.
Yeah.
And I was very frustrated because I did my part.
It doesn't add up.
It doesn't add up. Now, had she given me a bad review and the review said TJ ain't shit, and this is why he's not getting a good merit increase, cool. But for me to get a glowing review and for that and for that increase to not equal, I had every right to be upset. So I'm not saying that you can't be upset. I'm with you. I'm on your team always. Fuck anybody who's against you. But we waste a lot of energy being mad at things without knowing. Myself included. There's been times that I've been upset about things, not even understanding the full situation. And then I wasted that time being so angry because I jumped to conclusions. Yeah. It's hard.
It is.
It's hard. But it's life. And we're going through it and we're learning and we're growing. So don't beat yourself up. I joke with you about you always being tired because you are always tired. And now this is the second time in our life that you are really tired and it makes sense. First time was when Tatum was born.
Yeah, that's
and now you're teaching. You're a student and you're a mother, and a wife, and a sister, and a daughter. Like you wear a lot of hats, but like I said, communication is key, and you can't beat yourself up. If you're giving 100%, that's all you can give a fuck about. Like I would tell one of my players I'm coaching, you if you're missing shots, you're missing shots. You don't stop taking the shots because you missed 3. You keep shooting that motherfucker. One of them bitches are gonna go in. You're gonna get hot again.
You're right.
But you are your own hardest critic.
I am.
And you have nothing to prove to nobody.
I just want to make the people I care about
proud. We're going to be proud regardless. We're going to be proud regardless. So it's not about making us proud. You got to make sure that you're proud. You got to make sure that you're happy with what you're doing. But you can't live for other people. And I tell you this a lot too. You got to live for yourself. At the end of the day, you got to do what's best for Danielle. Danielle has to be happy. Danielle has to be happy mentally, physically, emotionally. If Danielle's not happy, you can't live. You can't live for me. Yeah, we're married, but you still have to be mentally stable for yourself.
Yeah, you're right. It's just, it's been a hard week. So I'm actually, even though I'm a little emotional, I'm glad that we're having this conversation, babe, because it always makes me feel 10 times better, 1,000 times better when I know you're in my corner, but when I feel that presence of you in my corner, because you are my best friend. You are the person who, if nobody else sees it my way or nobody else is with me on it, if you're with me on it, then I feel like, okay, then I can do this. Because you've already done this. You've done this twice. And I'm still on round 1 trying to get through it. So, but that don't mean nothing. It does. It really, it does, babe. It's a great accomplishment. I'm not even talking about, let me say this part real quick. I'm not even talking about you not necessarily seeing the fruits of your labor in a sense that, professionally, your degrees haven't changed your work dynamic yet. What I'm saying, though, is that, you said you were going to do something, and you fucking did it. People don't, it's a simple concept, babe, but people don't do that in today's world. People don't say, I want to do A, B, and C, and then go do A, B, and C. They either find reasons not to do it, or they do X, Y, Z instead. And that's not what you did. And you should be proud of that. I am proud of it. I'm not saying that I'm not proud of it, I am proud of you. And I appreciate that. And you do inspire me. Thank you. You're welcome. You inspire me too, so I do it because I know that this is what I thought I needed to do, but I want to be the best for you, the best for Tatum, Same. So we got mushy. We did. But it's all good. It is. I'm sorry, y'all. I think it's the first. I cried a little bit. You did cry a little bit. I hope that y'all don't mind. They're our lovers. I'm a Cancer. I'm sensitive about my shit. You are, but embrace that shit. I do. Nah, sometimes you be acting like you don't want to. Fuck it. Sometimes you gotta let the ugly cry out. Well, I wouldn't qualify this as an ugly cry. I didn't say it was an ugly cry. I'm just saying. Sometimes some people say crying is weak. Nah. Sometimes you just gotta cry. You're right. I'm sorry.
You've never seen A Christmas Story, but in A Christmas Story, when he beat up the bully, he was like crying or he was whining. So you know what I mean? He was whooping the bully's ass, cursing and screaming and whining. So everyone copes differently. Everyone do everything differently. But my father has taught me that fuck everybody else.
Yeah.
And to some people it's arrogance. To some people it's just loud or whatever. Growing up, I kind of didn't like my father.
Yeah.
Not in a negative way, but who he was, the loud and do this because I'm your father, and but I've learned a lot from him, and I appreciate it. I'm tough because of my father,
I could
If
very much see that.
anything I've learned how to be tough, how to be able to speak, how to be able to defend myself, how to be able to debate, how to be able to be self-confident. This world is mean. This world is evil and it's ugly, and people are ugly and mean. There's people out there who aren't about their word. There's people out there who's just looking to get on. And my father showed me different ways to kind of, pick my friends right, kind of how to be a positive individual and how to not take shit. At the end of the day, one of us is going to be uncomfortable, and it's never going to be me. Like, never. Fuck you. and that's real, though.
Yeah,
people need that in their life, because there's a lot of people who make decisions based off of other people. Fuck other people. Because if there's someone who's there for you, they're going to be there for you. Good, bad, ugly. If someone's only there for you when shit is good, and then when shit is bad, they're not there for you, they were never there for you from the beginning. That's a lesson learned. You know?
Yeah.
There's a lesson in life and everything. And my father taught me that, So, shout out to Ice, man.
Yeah, shout out to Ice.
So
He's even helped me become a better debater, because I've always had the info. Just sometimes I would cave with delivery.
Yeah. You can't cave with Ice.
No, you can't.
Yeah,
but now I don't. I mean, I pick and choose my battles, but
yeah. I'm saying you can pick and choose your battles, but
when I pick the battle,
yeah,
I come correct. These days.
So man, we took you on a whirlwind.
Oof, sorry.
And this was good. I think Danny needed that, and
I did. I didn't even realize I did.
I mean, listen, communication.
I know it kind of opened things up.
So the special announcement.
Yes, I am.
Am I saying it or are you saying it?
You should say
it.
I
think you should say it.
Well, I have a stuffy nose now. I've been crying.
Oh my gosh.
I don't. Wait,
I'll say it.
Let me sniffle real quick. Okay.
Yeah. You're the voice.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, you guys
and girls.
Is
it girls?
Yeah, sure.
No.
Ladies.
You can't say
female.
Females. There you go. Thank you.
So,
our lovers,
TJ and I, in order,
Dani and I,
to commemorate our 1-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Have put things in process, and we are going to have our very first live show.
She's back with the sound effects, y'all. Yes, we've decided to have a live show. November 10th, we will be having a live show in Baltimore. So
get your New Balances.
Come on, you can't disrespect the people yet. We can talk about this stuff later.
After they buy a ticket?
Yes, 100%. It starting a podcast, and then stopping and then restarting and then just getting episode after episode. Like once we got into the 20 range, it was like, oh shit. And then we got 30. Oh wow! Now we got 40s, and you know it's kind of the next step of just continue growing the Lovers Quarrel brand, and to be able to do it, to be able to feel confident in doing it, has just been a blessing. We got something really special lined up.
Sure do.
It's going to be a great night. So for all my couples, my married people, my single people, it's complicated people, come on out for a great night. Again, it's November 10th.
Something for everybody.
We will have the link for the tickets on our show notes. We'll put it on our Facebook, on our Twitter, IG.
All that good stuff.
So it's going to be November 10th. Doors open at 8, show starting at 8:30. We will have giveaways. There will be a cash bar. It's going to be at the Ideals Art Space at 905 West 36th Street in Baltimore, Maryland. Listen, this is just going to be a great night.
Yes.
It's going to be a fun night. It's going to be an entertaining night.
Exactly. We're trying to have a good time.
It's going to be, no, we're not trying. We're going to have a good time.
I'm going to get my homework done. So that way.
You're not going to be crying on the stage. Exactly. So, it's special for us. We battled with this a lot. We talked about it a lot. We prayed about it. And we felt like it was right, spoke with our family.
Yeah.
Shout out to my girl, Mandy. Yes. Mandy B. She's been extremely helpful.
Our mentor.
So, we just appreciate y'all. It means the world to us that people listen to us. People converse with us. They talk to us. They tell us their problems, and we're able to be a ear for y'all. Yeah. We're able to tell you what we go through, so that way you can kind of not have to go through it, or be able to just have a different point of view. We're not perfect at all, but
far from it.
That's the story.
We're trying.
That's what we want to tell. We're not perfect. Shit isn't perfect. Relationships aren't perfect. It takes work, and we're a work in progress. But again, live show November 10th.
Yes, do this. Let's do this. Come out, pay the money, have a good time, get a little drink. We'll get a little drunk.
Get a little drink.
Shut up. Leave me alone.
My fault.
And yeah, come hang out with me and TJ in person and have a good time. If you're local, come on down. If you're not local, come on through. Baltimore is way more than just the Wire and the harbor.
It is.
So do it.
With that, this is yet another episode of Lovers Quarrel. Follow us on IG at
Lovers Quarrel Show.
And on Twitter at
Lovers Quarrel 7.
Send us emails at
loversquarrelshow@gmail.com.
And we appreciate y'all.
Sure do.
We truly appreciate y'all. And, listen, we need y'all so that way we can make this night a memorable night.
One that you'll never forget.
And the one that we won't forget.
Absolutely.
So on that note,
this is your girl Dani.
And this is your guy TJ.
And this has been yet another episode of Lovers Quarrel. And as always, we fuss.
We fight, but we love. Bye. Bye.
Don't take my signal.
Bye.
Don't take my sign off.
Later.
I won.
You won what?
Just in general, I won the hearts of our listeners today.
You probably did. You win my heart every time.
Oh.